Hello Stampers, my name is Linda Bedinger and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Denver, Colorado. I'm so glad you could join me today. I finally have my April paper pumpkin alternatives for you. My kit came kind of late, but I'm tickled with what I came up with. I have 5 cards for you, so let's just get started. Okay, here is my paper pumpkin box. This is called So Cool, and it's April 2021. And in this kit, you get your dimensionals and your glue dots just like always, your directions. This is a flyer saying that this stamp set and this kit coordinates nicely with the Ice Cream Corner Designer Series paper, and so there's a little flyer about that. You get a stamp set, you get an ink spot, and the envelopes are all the same. And let me grab some of the other components out of here. You get a couple of pages of these white labels that are the long ones are flagged on either end, and then there's a circle, and they're both of them stitched, and there's 2 pages of those stickers. Then these are some of the card fronts for some of the cards. There's a watermelon card and a rainbow card, and you make up your card from these little card bases. And so I'm going to keep out one of each of those. And let's see. Then you get these little ice cream cards. There's one with that pattern on it and one with a kiwi pattern on it. So those are the 4 card bases. Then you get 2 pages of stickers, not stickers, die cuts of this sparkle round label, and then a couple each of this smaller label to go around, behind, so on and so forth of your cards. Then you get, this is a complete page of these stickers: the watermelon, a strawberry, the sun, kiwi, the same pattern as the card front, rainbow, this rainbow, smaller ice creams and larger ice creams. And there's 2 pages of these stickers. Now this style of card really isn't me. So as you can bet, I did something pretty much completely different. But I did use many of the component parts, and I have lots of material left over. So this is a Bumblebee twine that came this time, and a Bermuda base stamp spot, and this stamp set, let's see, let me put something behind it here. It says, "You are so cool, happy birthday, way to go, hey there." And then it's got these little dots. And then it's got an ice cream, and it's got a watermelon. And this time around, I literally used every single one of the stamps this time. The coordinating colors, which is I pay very close attention to, are Bermuda Bay, Blackberry Bliss, Bumblebee, Cinnamon Cider, Old Olive, and Terracotta Tile. And I used mostly Old Olive and Terracotta Tile in my designs. So let me show you what I did with this kit. And if you follow me at all, you know I never make what they suggest. So this is the first card that I made. The other thing that I used is I went through some of my retiring Designer Series paper, and I found this terracotta tile paper. It's so pretty. It's got this kind of, I don't know, it's almost an Art Deco looking kind of pattern on it. But I used it quite a bit, and it came from the Dandy Garden, the Dragonfly Suite. And so I put a little strip, a 2-inch strip of the Dandy Garden here, and then I did, as is my practice, I took apart an envelope by cutting it down on 2 sides and across the bottom and right underneath here, and I used it as patterned paper. So on this one, I have that stripe, I have the sun, I have some sequins, I used the twine, and this is this little strip right here that kind of ties the 2 pieces together is cut from one of these card bases. What I did was I just cut off the white border here and I cut a strip. And then I used that to make the transition between this paper and this paper. And on this one, oh, for the stamping on this, I did want to say this. For the stamping on these, because these stamps, let me grab the stamp set again, because the words on these stamps are so thick that I did all of my stamping for all of my cards in my Stamparatus. And I just want to make sure that you know that that is what I did, and I got the best results by using my Stamparatus. Okay, so I used Way to Go, You Are So Cool, and then on the inside I used a little bit of the trim, Bumblebee in the back, white, and another little piece of this strip on the inside. That is my card number 1. Card number 2, I used another piece of this designer series paper across here, and in this case what I did was I stamped the watermelon on here, and then I also stamped the watermelon on a piece of old olive card, and I cut out the rind and then just laid the rind down because this gave me the watermelon color and the seeds, and then I just added the rind as a separate piece. Same thing on this. I stamped the popsicle here on my card, and then I also took apart one of the big popsicles, and I just fussy cut out once I stamped it right here so that I could get the color down on here. And then I used our dual oval punch, and I cut 2 backings, one in old olive and one in terracotta tile, and then I stamped my thanks again right in here so that I could pick up all of the colors, and then cut that out with the other part of my punch, and that way I could show all 3. And then I left my tails here long on my card just to be a little bit different. And I took a piece of Bumblebee printed paper also in that Dandy Garden. Let's see, I think I have a bigger piece of it in here that I might be able to show you. Yes, I do. So I used this one and just cut a couple of strips to go on the top and the bottom. Again, just trying to get some interest with lots of different patterns and shapes and textures on this one. On the inside, I stamped on the designer series paper, and on the old olive, I cut out my rind and attached it, and then I attached the whole little watermelon to this, and so it's a thanks card, kind of a fun summer thanks card. That's card number 2. This one, I used a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of thick whisper white. Then I put a piece of this designer series paper, 4 by 5 1/4, and then I used a piece of old olive, and I cut out of the center of this piece, you know, as much as I could get, and I made a little card to sit on top. Now, I used my twine and collected it here, and I just put a hay there and put another piece of that rainbow in here, and there you've got sort of a note card that you could use, and it will fit in a regular size envelope. So that one is card number 3. This one, I cut the center out of the other popsicle, which is the kiwi front. So I cut, it's amazing how big that piece of paper ends up being, but if you cut right across here so that you can get a square and just cut away the edges, that's what you get. Then I use the stamp here to put these little dots in the middle, and where it missed a dot or it needed one and I couldn't go back in and stamp again, I just used my black marker and put a few in. I backed that piece in black, and what I can tell you about the size of this is I cut the maximum I could get out of my kiwi ice cream bar, and then I made the outside edge of that 1/4 bigger. Then on this I went with 4 by 5 1/4, and the black backing on this one is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then I used some of our glitter ribbon, and that inspired me then to go on and use just rhinestones on the front of here, and I made a happy birthday card that could be either masculine or feminine. And on the inside I put another piece of that kiwi paper, white, old olive, black, so I brought the outside to the inside. And that is my card number 4. I saved my favorite for the last. This one is my 5th card. And what I did was I used a larger piece of this designer series paper from the Dragonfly, and I put a 2-inch strip of old olive to one side that I used the twine around, and then stuck a bow for the twine right in here. Used a piece of the kiwi paper that was left, and out of this watermelon card I just cut a wedge of the watermelon, and I used the strawberry sticker on there and put some black dots on my piece of old olive and my sequins. And all of those sequins for this, I was using the, what is it called, Artistry Blooms adhesive backed sequins, and they come in kind of this ruddy color. They come in kind of this yellow orange, and that works pretty well with everything here, and this more of an orangey color. So these sequins, it also comes in blue, and I suppose you could use that because this has got Bermuda Bay in it. But I'm finding that I'm using these sequins over and over and over again, and they are carrying over to the new catalog. And again, they're called Artistry Blooms adhesive back sequins. I find them very versatile. So on the inside here, I just put my terracotta tile in 4 by 5 1/4, 3 3/4 by 5 white, 3/4 of an inch designer series paper from the Dandy Garden, and then a 1/2 inch strip of old olive and some of those black dots. And there we have it. There are the 5 cards for my Paper Pumpkin Alternatives for April 2021. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. I do so appreciate it. And if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, well, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Or you could join my team. We have a special offer coming up in May, and I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about what it's like to be on my team. We have all kinds of resources available for team members. First of all, my team, many of them are very active, and I have many also that are hobby demonstrators and never want to do a thing about their business. They just like the discounts, and that is fine. You get to decide what's important. But if you would like your material to get out on social media, we do have experts on the team that help our team members get on Pinterest and on YouTube get on Instagram. I have technical support for my team that helps with all kinds of technical issues. If you don't know how to set up a business Facebook page, she can help you. She'll help you build a blog. We have a database that's a free resource that helps keep your stamps and dies organized, and we do trainings on those kinds of things. We have meetings once a month on Zoom, and people bring projects, and we get demonstrations, and we do a mystery stamping session in our team meetings, and we get information and discuss how to grow your business or how to make parts of whatever it is you're doing better. So there's a lot of resources. It means a lot to have you join our team, and it is a very welcoming, wonderful group of ladies that are dedicated to everybody's success, regardless of what that success looks like. There's a special offer going on during the month of May, from May 4th to the 31st. That is $155 worth of product for $99 for the purchase of your starter kit for $99. So it's a pretty darn good deal. So I encourage you to think about it. If you're buying product now, and some of my customers buy enough that they really could be demonstrators, why not get the discount if nothing else? In any case, thanks again for stopping by, and I'll be back soon with more cards, more projects, and more tips. Bye!